You ever fix a sink and end up fixing someone's heart instead? That's how it all started, with a single wrench, a leaky faucet, and a woman who'd spent so long pretending to be untouchable that she'd forgotten what it felt like to be seen. No one expected a single dad plumber from the quiet side of town to cross paths with one of the city's most powerful CEOs, but fate, apparently, had a strange sense of humor. He wasn't supposed to mean anything to her, and she wasn't supposed to ask him to pretend to be her date, but sometimes, pretending is the only way to remember what's real. Ethan Cole didn't believe in luck anymore. Life had taken too much from him already: his wife, his peace, and most nights, his sleep. Being a single dad meant running from job to job, trying to keep the lights on while making sure his little girl, Lily, never felt like she was missing anything. That morning, when the call came from a Ms. Hartwell, CEO of Hartwell & Company, he almost didn't take it. Corporate people usually wanted fast service, spotless shoes, and invoices with silence, no small talk, no stories. But he needed the money. So, he went. The Hartwell penthouse was the kind of place that made Ethan's hands feel too rough for the doorknob. Glass walls, marble floors, and a woman standing there with eyes sharp enough to cut through his hesitation. "Sink's leaking again," she said. "Third plumber this month. I just want it fixed." He nodded, keeping his eyes low. "Yes, ma'am." Her tone softened for a moment, maybe guilt, maybe curiosity. "You always call people ma'am?" "Only when they look like they could buy the company I work for." A small, surprised laugh slipped out of her before she turned away, hiding it. While he worked, she watched him. The precision in his hands, the quiet hum he made while checking the pipes, the way he wiped his tools like they meant something. For once, she didn't feel like a CEO. She just felt like a woman who'd forgotten what genuine looked like. Before leaving, Ethan smiled faintly. "It's fixed now. Shouldn't leak again." She nodded, then hesitated. "You didn't overcharge me." "I charge what's fair," he said simply. "Not what people can afford." That line stuck with her. It shouldn't have. But it did. 2 weeks later, Ethan was tucking Lily into bed when his phone buzzed again. "Same number, Mr. Cole? This is Ava Hartwell." Did the sink start leaking again?" he asked, half joking. "No." As she hesitated, her voice uncharacteristically unsure. "I need a favor. A personal one." Ethan frowned. "What kind of favor?" There was a pause long enough to hear her exhale. "I need you to pretend to be my date for a company gala tomorrow night." He laughed softly. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. Ms. Hartwell, I'm a plumber. Not exactly black tie material. I'll handle the suit. You just show up. Please." There was something in her voice, not the CEO tone, not the command, but something fragile, like someone afraid to ask for help. Against his better judgment, he agreed. The next evening, Ethan stood outside the towering hotel, tugging at the cuffs of the suit that definitely cost more than his month's rent. He almost turned back until he saw her. Ava Hartwell didn't look like the woman who barked orders in boardrooms. She looked human. Nervous, even. "You clean up well," she said softly, looking him over. "So do you." "Though I guess you always look like this," he replied with a half smile. She smiled back, a little wistful. "Not really." Inside, whispers followed them. Cameras flashed. People noticed the Ava Hartwell with a man who clearly wasn't from her world. During dinner, he leaned over and murmured, "You could have picked anyone." "Why me?" "Because you're the only one who didn't treat me like a title," she said quietly. "You looked at me like a person." He swallowed, unsure what to say. That was the night the pretending started feeling a little too real. The gala ended, but the connection didn't. She called again, once, then twice, always with an excuse. "The sink's acting up again," or "I need help moving something." But both of them knew it wasn't about the sink. Ava found herself smiling more, laughing at things she used to ignore. And Ethan, he found himself looking forward to her calls, her stories, the way she'd relax only when he was around. But the world wasn't kind to people who crossed invisible lines. One morning, a headline hit the business blogs: Ava Hartwell's mystery date, the plumber who stole the CEO's heart. Her board demanded explanations. Her assistant whispered warnings. And Ethan, protective as ever, decided it was time to back away. "I don't want to mess up your life," he told her, voice low. "People like me, we don't fit in your world." Her eyes softened. You fixed more than my sink, Ethan. You fixed the part of me that forgot how to care. He smiled sadly. Then I did my job. He walked away that day, thinking it was the end. Weeks passed. Until one afternoon, as he waited outside Lily's school, a familiar car pulled up beside him, the door opened, and Ava stepped out. No fancy dress, no corporate armor. Just jeans, a quiet smile, and eyes that had already made their choice. Lily told her teacher her dad's a superhero, she said softly. I'd like to believe that too. He chuckled nervously. A superhero who fixes sinks? She took a step closer. A superhero who fixes people. Ethan blinked, words failing him. I don't care what they say, she whispered. I don't want to pretend anymore. So if you're still willing, I'd like you to be my real date. My real something. Lily ran out of the school just then, spotting them together. She beamed. Daddy! Is this the lady whose sink you fixed? Ethan laughed, glancing at Ava. Yeah, sweetheart. That's her. Ava knelt down, smiling at the little girl. Then I guess I owe your dad another thank you. And as the sun dipped behind them, Ethan realized something. Sometimes, life doesn't hand you second chances. Sometimes, it leaks them slowly, until you decide to fix them yourself, because in a world of boardrooms and broken pipes, love doesn't always come polished. Sometimes, it comes covered in dust, holding a wrench, and wearing a heart too big for its own good.